Hello, welcome to day 10 of the Gospel according to Child Protection and Safeguarding. How are you doing? I believe you've been following us and we've been talking about who a child is and several things that would make us learn about children and what they want. Now, today we'll be talking about it takes a village, but choose your villagers wisely. That's something I love to say. So I'll take this quote from Hillary Clinton. There's no such thing as other people's children. Our nation's children are all our children. Every child is your child. Every child is your child. Children do not only grow up in their homes, but they grow up inside culture, systems, conversations, environments, and communities. Every community teaches the child something, whether it's intentional or it's not, whether it is good, whether it is bad. Everybody in a society is a mirror that is placed in front of a child. So when the child looks at several mirrors, they're teaching you or they're teaching the child what to become, the kinds of conversations to have, the kind of lifestyle the child should have, what they should be, what they should say. We're constantly teaching the children because it takes a village to raise a child. A lot of times growing up, if you think back, when you do something wrong, before you wake up, you see your uncles and aunties, your grandmother in your house. You'll be wondering, in your head, they came to visit. You suddenly realize, maybe in the evening, that a family meeting has been called for you. Why? Because it takes a village to raise a child. They call your grandmother. They will call your uncle. They will call that auntie that you love to come and sit down and talk to you. And they will say, "Oh no, me. What is this thing that we're hearing that you did or that you said or that you're about to do?" And then your uncle says his own, your auntie says her own, your grandmother says her own, your parents are there. If possible, there'll be a friend. Nobody was raised in isolation. It took a village and it took intentional members of that village to raise you as a child. A lot of us, that seemingly looks like we turned out right. It wasn't the job of our parents alone. They invited people. Some of them were wise about the people they invited into their village. Some weren't. You can't say that. You can't tell me how to raise my child. You might be right. We can't really tell you how to raise your child. But we belong to the society that your children live in. We belong to the communities that your children are going. We belong to the schools that your children attend, even the churches. So, you kind of have a say to how you should raise your children. Not 100%. We can see that something is going wrong and we can call your attention to it to say, Mama Vero, the way Vero is acting is not a good thing, no. It needs to be changed. Right? Children are deeply shaped by the village around them. And the village constitutes of people. If the villagers are armed robbers, your child will pick the characters of armed robbers. If the villagers are liars, your children will pick the characters of liars. What village is around your child? What community is around your child? Or rather, your children? I mean, when I say a village, I'm talking about schools. I'm talking about social media. That's one of the biggest village we have right now. Friendships. leadership influence, your neighborhood, the culture around you. These are your village, or rather your villages. Your villagers, what character do they have? What are the trends in this village? What are the things that they solely believe in this village? As a parent, you need to be very vulnerable to your children. Wisely. And you need to be vulnerable to other people while you're building this village. Let them know your weaknesses. Let them know your strengths. You cannot do a solo journey when it comes to parenting. Parenting is a tough job. It is beautiful. It is rewarding. But you can't do it alone. You need to ask for help from people. I mean, remember I said in the beginning that you wake up in the morning and you just see your grandmother and people around the house because they have to talk to you. I remember something happened one time. You know, as children, we did a lot of crazy things. I went to a boarding school, and so I think someone had taken my sweater. You know how you have to go back home with a complete set of uniform, your day wear, your sports wear, everything must be complete. Sometimes you misplace some. So I think my mom had gotten me sweater several times. Somebody will take your sweater now because, hey, in hindsight, you say to yourself, you weren't responsible enough to keep your things well. But this time around, I think someone had taken my sweater and then I took somebody else's on. I come to Lagos for a holiday. My mother, arranging my stuff, found this sweater with somebody's name. You know, you would think that you are smart, but you are not. The person's name was at the edge of the sweater. So, my mom, school had resumed and not come back home to resume school. And so she took the sweater to school and had a conversation with my matron, who was my caregiver at the time in school. My mother said to me in her words, I am not raising a thief. I don't know whether you want to become one. And I'm like, huh? Oh no, man. You took somebody else's sweater. Does it belong to you? And you know, the first instinct of any child is you want to defend yourself and try to find your way out, you know. I didn't take anybody's sweater. Me? No, it's not. Your mom is from Delta State. When they give you the eye, you would adjust. I know that I'm not raising a thief. I know that I'm raising a child who is wise. So I would ask you again, did you take somebody else's sweater? Because I can see that somebody's name is written on this sweater and doesn't belong to you. So mommy, they took my own. Oh, so because they took your own, you chose to take another person. These are the characters of a thief. And I'm very sure that it is not the school that taught you this. I'm very sure it is not from the house. She went on and on and on. You do not take what does not belong to you. It doesn't matter if yours was taken. Do not do that. I learned a valuable lesson that day. Do not take what does not belong to you. It doesn't matter if it was taken from you. It is better you report it than you try to replace it, so you will not get scolded at or you will not get spoken to. I didn't have enough sense at the time. I was young, I was a child. I felt like taking somebody else's own would help me because after all, they took my own. But that was not the right act. And so sometimes our children behave like this. And I think sometimes we forget that we were once children and we acted worse than our children are acting. After that episode, I got a call from my auntie. When I say I got a call, I mean, you know how it's not the mobile phone. I got a call from my auntie who lived in Calabar. Got a call from my auntie who lived in Abuja. Got a call from my uncle who lived in Lagos. My grandmother came from Warri because I took somebody's sweater. To you, it might not mean anything. To me, it was a grievous thing. My mother painted a picture of me as a thief or heading towards that direction. And I'm not one, do not intend to be one, but my character and attitude was acting like I wanted to be one. It takes a village to raise a child. And when everybody contributed their words of wisdom, I saw reasons with them. So it is hard for me to pick something that doesn't belong to me, or even look at something that is not mine. I might admire it and that's it. Please, choose your villagers wisely. Be intentional about it and allow other people raise your children with you. Do not allow the world to help you raise your children. You be intentional about the villagers that you are raising. Don't say this is not my child, so I'll turn a blind eye. Don't do that. So I'll leave us with this charge today. A safe future for children will not happen accidentally. It will happen when families, churches, schools, leaders, and communities choose courage over silence and responsibility over comfort. When you are picking your villagers, make sure they are willing to take this part with you. Make sure they are committed. They have the same values like you do. Remember, every child is your child. Childhood should be preserved and children are important. I'll see you on day 11.